Hello everybody, this is RetroZick81. Welcome to my channel, my YouTube channel. Okay, so to start off this broadcast here, welcome everyone. Thank you Shenmue fans around the world. Thank you fans of Tekken's Bandai Namco. And even though I'm not wearing a hat representing the Bandai Namco, initially my talent that also inspired Tekken's Gen Kazama character came from Shenmue. Yes, so there is a history that is pertaining to even Tekken's Bandai Namco of Gen Kazama. That's a medical history. From Michigan, nearby Detroit. My legal name is Ryan Michael Salazar. And so, you know, I'm giving my information out here. You know, any royalties are better than no royalties. And I know I just posted a video that is previous to this video that is claiming that I am worthy of $29,000 to $999,000, which is equivalent to 29K to nearly roughly estimated to $1 million a month, approximately. And that's just the beginning. That could still be something that would be, you know, deserving of what I've contributed, in my opinion. You know, for my talent to inspire the whole world, it's something that you don't come by every day in life. So I know there are military personnel that were inspired by this also, because this is a military martial art. This is a military hobby. It's something military people do. Now, you know, given the fact that I've suffered some injuries over the years, I don't know how easily I could get my full talent back without bench pressing the way I used to bench press, lifting weights the way I used to lift weights. So, in other words, also, there's a cover-up behind all this. There's a scheme, there's a cover-up, and perhaps there's some people that don't want to look awfully horrible in the background that I cannot divulge and disclose who they would be. And perhaps if this were to come on television one day about Shenmue and about the origins of Shenmue, what it really is. The fight choreographers, in my opinion, for Shenmue were not Asian. I know we have some videos online of Shenmue, and it's portrayed to be only Japanese. Only Japanese. Well, I don't believe that, because I can remember having conversations about wanting a Japanese-oriented, like, video game, meaning, like, themed Japanese, and themed by martial arts and my fight choreography mostly. So the theme would be my fight choreography and a Japanese theme. Now, these moves that are in the fight choreography of Shenmue, they're not just coming from a Japanese martial art of Shotokan Karate, Kyokushin Karate, or some of these other Japanese martial arts of karate. You've got some moves that are from Muay Thai, you've got some moves that are from Taekwondo, you've got some moves that are from Subakdo, and I'm talking like Korean, Muay Thai, Thailand, and maybe even Brazil, some capoeira in there or something. I don't. There's one move I did. They put in Tekken 8. I noticed. I've never played Tekken 8, but Jen Kazama does this move where he does it's like an aerial cartwheel kick. I did that, I believe, 2 or 3 times, maybe 3. And one time I can remember falling down doing it. This is all in my memory bank, my memories, but you know. So, anyways, I'm at 5 minutes here. Gonna make this brief here. I'm just saying, you know, I have the history, and there's been a lot of things I've been through. I went through a lot to get to the point where I'm at now. Now, I'm an IT professional. I'll say it again because this was beeping. I'm an IT professional, meaning that I'm working as an IT consultant when I can get work. And that's something that I am, but it's not deserving of what I have also contributed at a younger age of 14 years old. Now, I do believe, honestly and seriously, that they have the proof of my moves recorded on VHS cameras. Sega Archives must have it, Bandai Namco must have it, or my karate teachers have it, or some law firms that are nearby in Michigan have that. Some people that I train martial arts with have that. Maybe, I also have an idea of some other people that could have it, but I'm not going to disclose it, you know. And so it's just, there's people that I train with. And some of those people I train with, I forgot who their identities were. And they were in my life for like several years after I forgot that, who they were. And I believe they were taking this from me. Like I have a degree here. This is not the real degree, okay? This is not the real degree, all right? It's not the real degree, but I have that degree, and that degree is not the real degree. I've got actually the proof that I trained that year. Good thing I took pictures of it, because that's all I have now. The proof that I trained in 1995, and those medals that I won that year of a private club karate federation from the government. U.S. government. We're a private, non-profit organization. So I've got proof I trained in 1995. And that's all I can really present. That and the fight choreography that I do nowadays, that's not anywhere nearly as good as I used to be. And why is that? Because I don't have training. The right training. I don't have the right lifestyle. You know, like, I mean, it's just, there's different factors of being a man and doing this kind of a martial art that are gonna contribute and matter to being this iconic sensation of Ryu Hazuki, to being an iconic sensation of Jin Kazama. These guys are not just, you know, regular people. And so, I'm just trying to make this clear about this. Yes. So Shenmue came from my fight choreography. To me, without my fight choreography, we would not have Shenmue. We would not have Shenmue without me stepping in, coming into a dojang, a military campground, Lincoln Park Recreation Facility, Region 5 on Ferris Road. There's a military campground there. I don't know how much longer they're going to be teaching karate there. Sometimes they talk about closing it down, not teaching karate there anymore. They claim they banned me in the history of training there, which for having mental illness and not causing any problems there. But it's like, to me, it's like they just are so wrong for what they're doing by not calling me back, by not letting me train there. But, you know, and honestly, you know, I know that Abraham Lincoln is not about discrimination, but he's about slavery. And then we got Martin Luther King Jr. later that comes in and plays a vital role about outlawing discrimination and racism. So, you know, discrimination can come in different forms. It can come in the form of racism. It can come in the form of people not accepting people of a disability, a status, age, gender, you know, like sex discrimination, whatever. Martin Luther King Jr. played a vital role in outlawing these forms of discrimination. But this was after Abraham Lincoln. And even though this is in the city of Lincoln Park, Michigan, they, to me, have some nerve by not letting me train there. Because what I contributed to Shenmue, what I've contributed to the whole world, how I changed the world with the fight choreography of Shenmue. I changed the whole world. In my personal, most honest opinion, I changed the world by contributing my moves to Shenmue. They had these big bulky cameras and they recorded my moves, and my moves were not only moves in karate, but they did that anyway. Oh, that looks good enough. We'll use that. They had an idea. Let me explain what happened. After class, my instructors were in the changing room. They're old school Dan karate guys. They're really impressed with my talent. And they always were complimenting me every day I trained there. I come from a strict background of parents and religious people in my history that are spiritual in some ways or religious, aka. But it's just, you know, the fact that I've impressed the Dons and they consider me like them. I don't consider myself like just like nobody for this. I have a lot of pride. I have a lot of respect for people, but I don't take kindly to people that would take this from me, because that's not right. It's wrong. It's discrimination. It's a lot of terrible, horrible things. So let me explain. Going back, I'm in the class. I come out. I'm impressing the Dons. We have a plan. The plan went through, and I signed legal documents that I was unaware of after class. In fact, I'm actually psychotic that year at age 14. I'm psychotic, but they still use me. Like I said before, my medical history is involved with Tekken's Bandai Namco. Okay, they've copied my the fact that I used to hallucinate demons. They've used that for Jin Kazama. They've used that. They used the psychosis for that, like all those voices and laughter and all that. They used that. They used my moves for Jin Kazama. Let's use that. And they're not gonna say these things for the video game industry. Where's my cut? Where's my income? You know, like they used I had a jacket like this Shenmue, and you know, I had a bag. I like for Shenmue, I had original watch that was Timex. That's not this expedition, but I should get one. The teacher told me. I had a lot of things going, you see, and I've just got this one picture. I don't have to show it now, but you know, there was always this mirror in the bathroom at the changing room, but yeah, there's always this mirror in the bathroom. I'll look at myself in the changing room, being strong, physically strong in that, which I never took pictures of myself. That was my mistake and me letting my guard down there. But I always used to be a fan of JCVD, and yes, I watched his movies. No one told me to watch his movies. I know they say to watch his movies in some of these modern YouTube videos of these fight choreographer, martial art movie actor guys say that. Watch Bloodsport and Kickboxer. I'm not copying that in this video. I did that on my own in 1995. So I watched his movies, Van Damme, and I got inspired to do martial arts. I was at that younger age, and I had the adrenaline, the hormones, the testosterone, the growth hormone in my brain was producing. My body naturally became Ryozuki that year. I was only him for 5, 6, 7 months. Actually, I would have to say I was him the whole year. I could have been him the whole year, but I started to work out in June. So to me, I was Ryozuki for 5 or 6 months. And, you know, it was a really cool time in my life to be Ryozuki, because they gave me a degree. They gave me an undocumented degree, those karate dan instructors, and I'll explain those claims. We talked about royalties, me and this Kyosanem person, my second dan teacher. I won't disclose his name here, but he gave me this degree, undocumented degree. He wanted it back, actually. He wanted it back after he gave it to me. Now, I'm not going to get into it why he wanted it back, but it had my royalties claimed. It had it gave me royalties. That's what we agreed upon, me and my Kyosanem teacher. I never received that, but he was not understanding me, and I was not understanding the situation. I was only age 14. There was only so much time after class. There's only so much time to consort, to have a conversation. So it was like a big mix-up, a big misunderstanding with the teacher and me in some manners of speaking. He didn't understand me. I didn't understand him. But I think in all, he did understand that if he cannot work with I had some parents that were signing me in or whatever. I signed, they signed, you know. This is like something like, because of the agreements that I signed that were after class in the in the changing room, there was not legal, but I did sign some agreements, and without my parent or guardian present. Well, I signed something. I don't know what I signed, where those documents are now, that they have. There's a law firm, I believe, that my teachers were working with. One teacher or maybe all the teachers. I never got compensated nothing for what I did. But what happened here, you see, is that it's like something that is just it's about intellectual property. These are claims of intellectual property. Now, there may be contracts. There may be real contracts that I signed into, and maybe there's waivers I signed into, but I don't know. But what I do know, even if there are not real contracts, or let's just say there are real contracts, they can just, there's ways to make my claims real with the statute of limitations that one attorney told me of, and then another attorney told me at first, you're going to need $5 million to represent your claims up against Sega and Bandai Namco. They said I can't represent them against Bandai Namco because that's a conflict of interest with this one attorney at first. I know I'm talking a little fast trying to get the information out here, but there's just so much that, I have gone through. But let me say what the degree represented. My royalties, which were probably expensive. I did all the moves for Shenmue. The karate moves, I did them all. I might have done the judo ones too. I'm not sure, but I did the karate that was used for Shenmue. I did it all. So I got royalties for that, supposedly. I've done that. My teacher gave me the rights to the Hozuki residency, as I recall in my memories, which I don't know what became of that. I was supposed to go to Japan. We spoke about me going to Japan with this degree. This is a Korean martial art, everybody. This is something I trained for, something I did at age 14. I had my whole life ahead of me. I could have went to Japan and lived a good life. With that, I did not have the right support of my family background to just leave my family and go to Japan. So that never happened for me. But I was given the rights to Zuki residency on this degree. I wondered why, that I'm not going to change the subject, but the identification of the proof I have, it means Bentogond. And I can explain why later it means Bentogond, in my opinion. But, so I had the royalties, the rights to Zuki residency, and I had these toys, vintage toys, that were supposed to go to me that I never received these vintage toys from Japan. They're Japanese vintage toys. They're worth a lot of money. I actually believe I have some knowledge of what happened with that. I believe I do, but I'm not going to disclose it right here. So, there you have it, everybody. Now my royalties to me, if this is Shenmue that I did the fight choreography with, for and all this should be expensive what I did. We all make mistakes. Even I made mistakes training that year. I didn't do everything perfect or right, but I can even give an excuse or say why. I want to say this. There was a representative, I believe, from a video game. I believe there was a representative from the video games that came to my locker and took the jacket out of my locker. And then they were like bullies, people that were acting like bullies to me. But maybe they thought I was acting like bullies to them at one time. It's very confusing, because we're just kids in school. But you know how some kids in school think they're bullies and then they think, oh, the other people are bullies? Well, maybe it's something like that. But people have enemies and rivalries in school, in grade school. Okay. I believe there was some representatives from the video game industry that came to Melvindale, Michigan, a strong junior high. And they let me know something. I can vaguely remember, but something else went wrong or something. They vaguely let me know that they're going to take my jacket out for something. I had this original brown jacket. I never accepted patches for it at the time. There were people that were trying to scare me in school, trying to make me intimidated all the time, and I don't want to just name them or whatever, but it's just, those days are over. It's so long ago. But if someone took something out of the jacket out of my locker, and then what happened, you see, I didn't like that. So they put that back in my locker. But I didn't know, I'm living in a world of violence. People coming from, if they came from Japan or wherever they came from, these representatives, I'm thinking like maybe there's some kind of a scheme or setup they've got to harm me. Maybe they put I thought maybe someone would put like a bomb in my locker. I didn't know what could happen. I've got all kind of crazy, insane things going on in my mind. People get killed. In my days, people were getting killed in school. People were getting shot, stabbed, killed in Melvindale, Michigan. I come from a city that's nearby Detroit. I'm very old school, and I don't expect like people just to think that I'm a nice guy when I come from a background that's very violent. I come from very violent. That time in school, that was very violent to me. There's kids threatening my life. There's kids threatening me all the time. how do I know what my strength is? I don't know what my strength is, but I know that when somebody, you know, came to my locker, took something out of it, maybe it was a nice guy, maybe it was a good guy, maybe it was a real cool guy that came there, maybe this guy was trying to help me that borrowed my jacket. I'm sorry if I did something, I want to say, online that offended anybody, you know, because what happened is, you know, I mean, I was a jerk. Maybe that's why they call me Bento Gant, for what I did, something I did that made a mistake, and I want to say I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for if I did something that was wrong. So I didn't mean to do it, and I'm sorry. I'm apologizing online. I think there's a video game representative that came to Strong Junior High Middle School long ago to borrow my jacket, but they never properly informed me of what was going on. They kept me out of the picture, everybody. They didn't properly advise me of what was going on. I'm not going to divulge, I'm not going to disclose or say what really happened that day, but it's just, you know, it's a mess, because when you've got violent kids, you're thinking knives, guns, bombs, you know, stuff like that. You know how people threaten to blow up schools and all this is going on in my mind, and I'm only age 14. I'm thinking about knives, guns, bombs, things that are going to cause destruction, things that are going to make problems. I'm thinking about drugs. I'm thinking about all these things. And a lunch lady tells me that, oh, someone, see, this is a lunch lady that told me that somebody's going to borrow the jacket out of your locker. And I didn't know who or what anyone was. But if I happen to make a mistake and actually assault someone because the jacket was put back in my locker, and then what happens is I check the jacket, and then I check my lunchbox and everything to make sure everything's all right. I do my own TSA or security check right there from my end point. I cannot just justify that, you know, what's going on is gonna make everyone safe, because I don't feel safe. And I don't know, you know, I just want to say, if I did like assault somebody at age 14, I'm a minor, I am sorry. I'm very sorry. I apologize. And it's just so terrible, because I believe that day they used the original Shenmue jacket to make Shenmue. And I just want to say this is what the video is about. Okay, so the theme of this video will be my apologies, and then my apologies, and then not only that, it's gonna be about how I'd like to to continue a vital role with the video game industry, how I'd like to perhaps, you know, be considered for compensation, because I am still alive and I can still train the martial arts. I can still do this. In fact, maybe, you know, I can even have ideas that could play, you know, contributing roles to the patented ideas that are, you know, ideas that to be patented or whatever. It's just, you know, people are not understanding of my background, and you know, I come from those times where there were very, very, you know, chaotic times in school before there were anti-bullying laws. And who knows, maybe I seem like the bully at times. But it's just, you know, when there's not laws for anti-bullying to begin with, you know, and nowadays we got cyberbullying coming on, you know, in our generation too. But when there's not laws to prevent bullying, you know, people can be bullies on both sides at one time even. And when there's no anti-bullying laws, it doesn't have its effectiveness. And thank you. I'm Richard Zuki 81.